Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is currently 3:45 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at the first hurricane of the season. What is now Hurricane Beryl has wind speeds up to 75 miles per hour and maximum gusts up to 90 miles per hour. Now, this is going to be an extremely dangerous tropical cyclone. It is currently forecasted here to head northwestward, impact portions of the Lesser Antilles here as a major Category 3 hurricane with potential wind gusts at times up to 150 miles per hour, and entirely the wind speeds in general sustained are going to be up to 120 miles per hour. Now, after this impacts the Antilles, it's going to continue to head northwestward here and potentially impact portions of Central America. That is too far it is too far out to forecast what is going to happen next. So we need to keep a very close eye on Hurricane Beryl here. In fact, I believe that some of the southern Antilles here, the Lesser Antilles, are probably starting to get evacuation orders, and if you're getting them, obviously, you need to do that, alright? Again, we are expecting a major hurricane to impact the Lesser Antilles on the 1st, alright? Now, the 1st, I believe, that would be Monday. We will be watching this like a hawk, right? Again, this is a Category 3 that we are expecting here, a major hurricane with maximum gusts up to 150 miles per hour. That's enough to damage pretty much anything. It's going to down trees, it's going to knock out power, it's going to damage homes, buildings, everything like that. It's going to be a very intense tropical cyclone here. And again, it's going to head northwestward and, I cannot speak today. It's going to head northwestward and potentially cause some similar, but I'll admit, less intense impacts on portions of Central America and maybe even Mexico. So we'll have to look out for that. Now, we're also here today for some severe weather coverage. We do have a tornado watch in effect for portions of West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. The primary threats with this include a couple tornadoes possible and scattered damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour likely here. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for portions of Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia on the southern side of this system, where the tornado threat's going to be a little bit lower. But if we take a look at the hail threat, we can see that the isolated large hail events could be up to quarter size. So the hail threat's going to be a little bit higher, but again, the tornado threat's going to be a little bit lower there. So again, we're going to watch those severe thunderstorms. We also have some storms out into portions of Indiana that are considerable right now. We have a very intense bow echo line of storms that just ripped right through the center of Indianapolis with 70 mile per hour damaging wind gusts, and now it's heading for Greenfield, Franklin, and Greensburg. All right, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby, Southern Hancock, Rush, Decatur, Southeastern Johnson, Northeastern Bartholomew, and Southern Henry counties in East Central Indiana and Central Indiana. All right, so if you're in that area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows immediately. This storm has a history of doing damage in Indianapolis. Now, I need to give my voice a rest. I've been talking for like 7 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up stream chat here. And if anybody has any questions about the location, feel free to leave those down below. So, give me just a minute here. Here we go. Peak Cat 3 based on model guidance. Yeah, if we take a look at, if we were to look at some of the more specific tracks of this, some of them are saying, just a couple of them are saying maybe this reaches Cat 4, Cat 5 intensity, but in general, a lot of the models are actually saying Cat 2, Cat 3. So, again, we are expecting a major hurricane, but probably going to be Cat 3 at the most. And the environment actually is a little tornadic at the minute. We do have some storms that are starting to rotate a little bit here in Pennsylvania. It's going to be a QLCS tornado threat here, but if you look, we got some areas of rotation around the Lewistown, Pennsylvania area, back up towards Decatur, Milroy, that whole region there. And even without a tornado threat, again, we are still talking about damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, even with our Indiana storm here. Again, this just ripped through Indianapolis with destructive winds up to 70 miles an hour, and it could still have those, level of winds here as it approaches Shelbyville, Greenfield, Knightstown, Rushville over the next several minutes here in Morristown. But I mean, definitely a pocket of very damaging winds there. Again, potentially up to 70 miles per hour. Again, this storm did have a history of downing trees in Indianapolis. Yeah, there's a little bit of rotation here over Knightwood Village, Indiana. So we'll have to see if that tries and tightens up a little more, and if it does, we could be talking about a potential tornado there east of Marion, to the northeast of Shelbyville. But the actual tornado threat today, for the most part, is going to be across portions of the Ohio Valley. We're talking northeast Ohio, western PA, and southwestern New York, with a 5% tornado threat today within 25 miles of any given point. This does include Pittsburgh, Akron, Canton, Harrisburg. All right. Not a super populated area, but we do have almost 7 million people under that 5% tornado risk, so we'll have to watch out. Again, one of the bigger cities included in this is Pittsburgh here, so we'll see. We already had a Pittsburgh tornado just a few days ago, so hopefully they don't get another one, but it's a possibility, all right? Now, again, it's not a guarantee or anything. It's actually more likely than not that you don't see anything, but there's a chance. A very small chance, but a chance nonetheless, so we'll have to look out for it there. But yeah, we do have some very weak rotation here east of Marion, Indiana. We could see a potential brief tornado out of that, maybe a landspout. Nothing yet on the correlation coefficient, so we had no confirmation that that's an ongoing tornado at this time. But again, you should continue to stay indoors and away from windows, because again, this storm has a history of downing trees. It's been pushing trees onto roads. There's been power lines down, trees blocking US 40. All right, we've got, all these damage reports here from portions of central Indiana there, and even stretching back into eastern Illinois where this line of storms did impact. So, again, pretty interesting stuff there. And again, this line is only strengthening. It's managing to take advantage of this nice, juicy atmosphere that it has ahead of it. And it's going to continue to produce damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour as it tracks through southeast Indiana and southwestern Ohio. Unfortunately, we don't have any cyclone ports in the Ohio Valley other than the eastern Kentucky one. I guess we do have a couple here in southwest Ohio. But this area just doesn't see tornadoes all that often, so we don't have a lot of live cams to look at. And we also don't have chasers out today because this is not good chasing country or anything like that. This is very populated areas. Not a lot of great road networks. It's just not a great area to chase in, But yeah, these are live looks here from southwest Ohio, from the Cincinnati-Dayton area. Let's see here. Nothing going on yet in the Central Plains, but we will have a potential severe weather threat try to develop as we go later into this evening in this area here. We can see that around 4 p.m. is where we're expected to get our first taste of some supercells out here across parts of southeast Kansas and northern Oklahoma. And then as we go into 5, 6 p.m., well, apparently this run of the Triple R is not finished yet, but if we go and take a look at the pass run, we can see that as we go into 5, 6 p.m., those cells really start to get going there across portions of northeast Oklahoma, southwest Missouri, and maybe into southeastern Kansas even that we'll have to watch out for. These could bring a potential tornado threat, but overall the chance is quite low. This is mainly going to be a damaging wind and large hail threat, but I wouldn't rule out an isolated brief spin up at the Storm Prediction Center has not put any sort of tornado risk in play there. 7 to 8 p.m. we're going to continue to watch those storms as the damaging wind threat increases. 9, 10 p.m. same thing, and then by 1 a.m. those storms are really starting to fizzle out, and all we're left with is a cluster of thunder showers and maybe a couple of storms out here in southeast Missouri and northeast Arkansas. And then we've also got another event that we're expecting to go down in the Rockies. However, this one, really, I'm kind of surprised they added a slight risk of severe weather for. It looks to be mainly a hail threat. If anything, maybe some isolated hail gets up to lime size, but overall, the hail threat is the main thing out here in the plains, or sorry, in the Rockies. We're not really talking about a big-time damaging wind or tornado threat. Maybe an isolated gust gets up to 65 miles an hour, but that's it. So, yeah. No, those aren't chasers near Nashville. Those are just cyclone ports set up by Raider Omega here. And Tennessee is, I like to call it the land of cyclone ports. I mean, they're all over the place there. Okay, we do actually have a cell going in southeast Kansas. We'll bring up the Burlington camera here. And we could also go ahead and just bring up the Eastern Kentucky one, but there's nothing going on in Eastern Kentucky. Let's try to find one that actually has some storms nearby. A lot in Georgia here. We got some storms rolling through. We'll bring up this one in Dawsonville, the Dawsonville City Hall. Okay. So there we go. There's a wall of webcams for right now. I just realized you can't even see the bottom camera because my face cam, can you? Let me try and fix that real quick. Give me just a second here. Sorry, I'm trying to see what this looks like relative to my face cam. So that's maybe a little higher. Something like that. Okay. Alright, we got this. We got this. Drag it out a little bit to the right. Throw that up there. And then we'll put Dawsonville City Hall. Am I excited for Reed's new series? Yeah, it was just the other day I found out about it, but I actually am quite excited. Alright. There we go, the wall of cyclone ports. Nice. I don't know, it feels a little much. Is that too many? I don't know. Whatever. For right now, we just need to focus on our severe weather threat. So again, we're continuing to watch that bow echo sweep through the greater eastern portions of the Indianapolis suburbs here. So again, areas like Greenfield, Shelbyville, areas along along and in between Interstate 70 and Interstate 74 there are the main regions that we are concerned about. Again, Rushville, I think, is going to get smacked pretty hard. So, we'll see. I'm going to remove one and put the third one in the corner. Third one in the corner. Oh. The top left corner. There we go. I need to move it all down a little bit, though. Still need to move it down a little bit. Alright, there we go. That's perfect. That is perfect. That's as good as it's going to get. So, there we go. So again, we're watching all of our Indianapolis activity there. So you can see the other options in the radar map. I mean, if we need to, I'll just move them later. Honestly, I'm just gonna take them down. All that for literally nothing. I'm just gonna take them down. They're kind of in the way. We're not looking at any of them super closely anyway. This storm in Pennsylvania near Lewistown is warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds now. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for the McClure area for 60-mile-an-hour winds. So again, if you're in that area, make sure to look out for that. Pretty intense storms rolling through that area. But again, our main focus is our Indianapolis storm here. As it's in a populated area, it's a very damaging storm. And it's going to continue to be damaging. What's up, Sam? So again, we need you guys to look out for that one there. Again, this is just like a crazy bow echo. I wouldn't be surprised if this were to produce maybe some 75-mile-an-hour winds, actually. That is really an impressive look there for the heading into the Rushville area. So again, we need everybody in that area to make sure that they are getting indoors and away from windows immediately. I know that trick, Michael. You're done, buddy. You're done. We even have some storms all the way up into Michigan, UP. None of these are severe, but wouldn't surprise me if an isolated one did get like a special weather statement or something. So, again, I mean, that bow echo there is just really racing on. Again, it's going to continue to ride the area in between Interstate 70 and Interstate 74 here. Some of the bigger cities it could impact in the near future include Middletown and Hamilton, Ohio. They did just condense that warning, actually. It's down to 60-mile-an-hour winds now, which I think that's an interesting move, because if anything to me, this is a strengthening line of storms here. But their call, I guess. So again, if you're just not tuning in, we are tracking some severe weather across portions of the Ohio Valley. We're talking about states like Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and even later today back up into New York, potentially, the Rochester area, the Binghamton area. So if you guys are new here, I'd appreciate it if you did click that like and the subscribe button, as it helps out the channel quite a bit, and I do frequent weather live coverages. We're also going to be covering Hurricane Beryl pretty frequently here on this channel. Going to be tracking its every move here. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to like and subscribe. Again, right now it's looking like it's going to take aim on Central America. Kind of do something like this probably. But there's always room in the forecast for it to change. So we got to watch it. We do. But as soon as it enters the Bay of Campeche, I think it's going to be not in a great spot. I think it's going to kind of die out, potentially, hopefully. So if we actually take a look here at the GFS, what is it saying? You know, well, there's Hurricane Beryl right now, just off the coast of South America. It's expected to once again travel west-northwestward and impact portions of the Antilles. And look at that eye there. And it gets more intense, guys. I mean, that is just a classic hurricane look there. I mean, that is just as good as it gets, honestly, whenever it approaches the Bridgetown area. I'm not sure which of the Antilles that is, but Bridgetown, I mean, that is, yikes. That is, again, probably one of the areas that you're going to want to get away from, as we are expecting catastrophic impacts potentially for damaging winds, incredible storm surge, and life-threatening flash flooding from freshwater rainfall. And as it continues to head northwestward, it continues to look pretty intense here. It kind of starts to break out, though, as it approaches Central America here, the Bay of Campeche area once again. And again, eventually it's going to continue to keep going here, but it is expected to impact portions of northeast Mexico potentially as a tropical storm or hurricane. But remember, we are so far out, all right? There's so much room in the forecast for this to change. So just be aware if you're in the Gulf, all right? Especially on the southwestern side of the Gulf, right? We're talking about extreme southern Texas having the most likely area to be impacted in the United States by this, if anywhere were to get impacted. And again, that's would mainly be a flooding threat. And again, we are talking the southern tip of Texas, like even further south than Alberto's impacts. So we're talking about areas like McAllen, down towards Harlingen, San Benito, South Padre Island, I know is in this area. So look out, guys. Just look out. That's all I can say at this point. Again, we don't know what's going to happen. We really don't. But, we don't know what's going to happen that far out. But we can take a good guess, and that's our guess right now. And by the way, we've also got what could be potentially Hurricane, I don't remember the C name for this year, but Hurricane C could develop behind this, or at least Tropical Storm C, and it could actually impact the same exact area, same exact track there. So the Antilles are already likely going to be devastated by Beryl's impacts, and then we're going to have another potential tropical cyclone roll through. Like, that is just awful. The National Hurricane Center has already issued a code red for that little system there, and that one in particular, it does kind of last for a while, but in the end, it is expected actually to make some sort of impacts here on the eastern portion of the Gulf. Not as a tropical cyclone, though, most likely. It's mainly going to be a flooding threat, if anything, maybe some gusty winds. Again, we're not expecting a tropical storm or anything like that at that point. Not even a tropical depression, most likely. So, I mean, yeah, that's really close to becoming a hurricane there. So, gotta look out for that. Or really close to becoming a tropical cyclone anyway. 70% chance of it within the next week, even. So, and I mean, we've also got a little area in the Bay of Campeche to watch. The confidence is increasing here that we could see something tropical out of this. 50% chance of it. So, it's picking up, guys. The season is getting active, considering we're only in late June, early July. We'd have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Connorsville, Batesville, Metamora, Columbia, and Cambridge City, Indiana. For 70-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail, the National Weather Service in Wilmington has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for your area. If you're in that region, you need to get indoors, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible immediately. Very dangerous line of storms here, and again, I wish the National Weather Service in Indianapolis still had this at a 70-mile-an-hour wind tag, but they don't for some reason, so anyway. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm watch, actually, though, for that line of storms for parts of Ohio and Kentucky here, as well as Indiana. Just give me just a second here. So, the primary threats include scattered damaging winds to 70 miles per hour possible. It's really that one bow echo line of storms that they put out this watch for. So, honestly, if you're on the edge of this watch, you may not see anything. We're mainly concerned about areas ahead of this line of storm. So, Hamilton, Chillicothe, to the northern, side of Cincinnati there. That is the real area of concern, all right? They put the watch down into Kentucky. That's just in case this line of storms goes a little further south than we think, right? So, just be aware. Again, you're under a severe thunderstorm watch there, but no hail threat or wind threat at all. So, that's good. Good news there. Dang it, I scratched a mosquito bite too bad, and now it's bleeding. Okay, but anyway. Let's go back out here to Pennsylvania real quick for the Lewistown line of storms. It's going to be approaching Harrisburg relatively soon. And it looks to me like that could try and rotate a little bit. So we'll watch out for that potential there. Look at that. I mean, again, Rushville is going to be, hit pretty hard by this, actually. Wow, that's going to put that right into Rushville. So if you're in Rushville or Circleville, expect some really damaging winds here to come in with the next few minutes. Again, if you're in that area, you need to be on the lowest floor possible of your home. Really dangerous line of storms there. And again, it's going to down trees. It's going to down power lines, so just look out for it, For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. And the one out ahead of this is a little bit more intense with the wording. Large hail, damaging wind, and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning are occurring with these storms. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. So, look out for that, obviously. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. Live look from Burlington, Kansas. Just really windy, honestly. And pretty low pressure. People without arthritis out there are feeling it right now, most likely. But it's calm. Calm to the north of the storm instead of calm before the storm. Because Yeats Center, you're getting one heck of a hailstorm right now, or you just did anyway. Heading towards Humble, Lola, La Harpe, Moron, Moran, not Moron, and Elsmore in southeast Kansas. Look out for that. They may get a special weather statement or possibly even a severe thunderstorm warning. It looks pretty intense to me, so. But again, our main focus is, just coming back here to our Indiana storm over and over again. And we're watching Knightstown, Rushville, and Shelbyville in particular, but as this moves eastward, Columbia, Connorsville, Cambridge City, Metamora, Batesville, Greensburg, you guys are the areas of concern. So make sure to look out for that. Let's see here. Again, if you're just not sitting in, we are covering severe weather across portions of the Ohio Valley. Right now, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings up for portions of Indiana, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania, and soon to be Ohio here as this line of storms approaches. So we're watching the weather so you don't have to. Again, we are tracking these severe thunderstorms here. We're also giving you live updates here on Hurricane Alberto. In fact, we haven't even looked at satellite yet. How could I have forgotten? Let's do that. Oh, wait, no, we can't even look at satellite on Radar Omega in this area. Well, okay. That's it for that, then. Cool. Wait, yeah, we can. We just have to switch. Let's look at the MDR. Can't quite see it. Why not? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, this is just a classic-looking hurricane here, guys. And having a major hurricane in what will be early July, maybe as early as extreme late June, like the night of the 30th, having a major hurricane in that time frame is insane. I don't know when the last time that happened was, but it had to have been a while ago. That is not something that happens often. That definitely didn't happen last year. This is the kind of thing that, can hint towards a potentially hyperactive season like a lot of folks were predicting, including myself and my hurricane forecasts. And, for a while we were thinking, hey, maybe this is going to be a bust. It's kind of a slow starter, but it picked up real fast. And now we are talking about a major hurricane potentially in June. So, pretty insane stuff, to say the least. First time since 2005. Wow. Well, and 2005, Everybody remembers that year. We had Katrina, Rita, Wilma. That's one of the most historic hurricane years ever recorded. So, by the way, that storm in Kansas did get severe warning, and it's warned for a half-dollar sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. So if you're in Humboldt, you need to get indoors and away from windows on the lowest floor possible immediately. New severe thunderstorm warning for the Middleburg area in Pennsylvania. We got ourselves 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts and a possible tornado there. These storms are really starting to rotate a little bit, so they got some spin on them. When does hurricane season start and end? That's a good question. It starts on June 1st, and I believe it ends on October 1st. Correct me if I'm wrong, but... Or is it October 31st? It could be October 31st. I don't remember exactly. I know it started on June 1st, though. But yeah, we do have some rotation there near Kellerville, Pennsylvania right now that we'll have to watch out for a potential tornado. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't get like a 2005, 2020 like season. And remember, guys, just because we do get a major hurricane, for the first time as we did in those years, if that makes sense, doesn't mean that we're going to have just as active of a year as them. Like 2005, 2020, again, those are historic years with tons of major hurricanes, but that doesn't mean that that's what we're going to see. This is just, kind of pointing out that it's a possibility, because we have the similar start to hurricane season that those years did. So, yeah. So again, I'd be watching for this to get a tornado warning if this rotation increases any. So if I'm in Oriental, I'm preparing to take shelter if necessary. Again, you don't need to seek shelter quite yet, but you may need to in a minute. So just get ready. Again, Oriental, Nowstown, Strooptown, Richfield, you guys are in the track of this rotation. So again, we could even get like a QLCS tornado out of that. Landspat or something. That is not a debris signature, but it scared me for a second. Nah, it's not a debris signature. It looks suspiciously like one, but it's not one, so we're good. Just need to keep watching that. Let's go ahead and fix my face cam. I'm at the bottom of the camera again. I should have fixed it. Yeah, that fixed it. Alright, nice. So again, that's the main area that we're watching right now for a potential tornado. That's going to move off to the northeast towards Oriental and areas to the north of Oriental. And this is just contamination, but looked like rotation for a little bit there in south central Pennsylvania. But, again, I mean, so far, this is really an underperforming 5% tornado risk day. Yeah, this is coming into Nowstown, so if you're in Nowstown, look out. If you see a funnel cloud, report it and get indoors immediately. Alright. let's see. Other than our Kansas storm, obviously, do we have any other cells popping off in the plains? It looks like we do have something there near Longton. We got a little blip. This is kind of a blip watch. So we'll see. Again, this storm up here, I'm concerned about it. I just don't think it's going to last that long in this kind of environment. I think whenever these two cells like entirely merge, like right now it's kind of two cells, whenever they entirely merge, that could create a bigger severe threat. So we'll see. But I don't know. So let's focus back in on Indiana here. Again, it really just destructive winds ripping through Richland, New Salem here. Areas along the Highway 52 corridor in that area. And now we have 800 customers reported in Shelby County without power, 1,600 in Montgomery County, 1,700 in Hendricks County, and 200 in Owen County. So, but yeah, we are estimating around 70 mile an hour wind gusts potentially with that, 65 to 70. So if you're ahead of this, you need to look out in Metamora and Columbia. Then Columbia especially, and areas to the south of Columbia, could have a rough time with this here. Alpine, Mount Auburn. Gonna dip down into the 40s Sunday night? Where are you in the United States where it's gonna dip down into the 40s? In Davenport? What? Is that actually true? Hold on. That's crazy. I don't think you are. That just doesn't happen in the summer. You said Sunday night. So it'd be tomorrow night. This is tomorrow morning. We can't go out far enough to see tomorrow night. Let's take a look at the NAM. It said 49. I mean, it's possible. That would just really surprise me, especially after the heat wave that this area has been going through. There we go. I guess so, huh? Well, how about that? Yeah, I was hoping I was right too, but those 40s do look to be in the picture. I don't know, I'd be excited about that. I'd be excited about that. Some heat relief, because remember, that's only during, very early morning time hours, like 6 a.m. As soon as you get into the afternoon, it's going to be beautiful in the 70s, low 70s. I don't know about you, but that's the kind of weather that I like. That Arctic blast really does go down pretty far. I knew a cool down was in the picture for this area, but I didn't realize it was this drastic. Like, I knew about it, but seriously, I mean, some areas in Michigan could get, almost to the 30s. And that'll be in July, technically. That's crazy. I'm not seeing any spots that get below 40, though. Oh, never mind. Look at this. Northwest Michigan with the 39.5 degrees in July. What in the world, dude? That is crazy. That's actually insane, though. Meanwhile, we've got folks absolutely baking down here in Phoenix. Their low temperature is going to be 90 degrees. Can you imagine? Not even the heat index, the temperature. Holy cow. That is actually nuts. If Phoenix is going to get to 109 degrees tomorrow. Huh. The more you know, I guess. I mean, look at that. That is... I need a bottle of water just looking at that. Close to 115 degrees in some parts of southwest Arizona. Along Interstate 8 there. It's a bit warm. It is. I just realized I've had my hand on my face this whole time and I look ridiculous. I didn't realize that the cooldown was going to be that serious, though, for that area. I know we had a little bit of heat relief, but 40s in July? Okay, I'll take it. For the lows, but still. So this is a 6 to 10 day temperature outlook here for the United States. As you can see, for the most part, everybody is going to be baking except for the plains. The 8 to 14 day outlook shows the entire country is going to be baking there. And even the 3 to 4 week outlook actually is even more extreme than that. Look at this. Through the Rocky Mountains, we've got ourselves a zone. On the 3 to 4 week outlook, it's not common that we see that 70% confidence there of above average temperatures. And we even have that on the 1 month outlook for multiple areas. So, it's going to be toasty out there. It is. Expecting a very hot summer. So, we'll see. Alright, guys. I think we're going to end off our live coverage here. I want to thank you all for tuning in, but we don't have much to talk about right now. We don't have any ongoing destructive, severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings. We will be back live later again today if necessary, but at this point, I don't think we will. If we do go live again later, it'll probably be for a damaging wind threat of 70 to 80 mile per hour winds if that does occur, but even that's a little unlikely. So, again, thank you all for watching the stream, and I'll